This time on One Foot Flipper, we're going to talk about piss jugs. Stay tuned.
One foot flipper.
Hi, Paige here, the One Foot Flipper. Today has been nothing but a series of missing items and mistakes. It's incredibly cold here right now. The temperature the last couple of days has been below zero here in Missouri. And I'm not going to say that's never happened, but it's very rare in modern times for my area to actually get below zero. This is only the second time it's happened since I bought the house 13 years ago. And my 25 or 28-year-old furnace or whatever it is can't quite keep up. The house upstairs is at 61 and it's about 50 or less down here in the basement. So ordered myself a space heater. Eventually I'm going to replace the furnace and the AC. Probably do it this year. But got a lot of things to buy this year, like an $8,000 prosthetic leg, or at least my part of it's going to be $8,000. I'm sure it'll be another 20 grand for the insurance company. But anyway, had 34 orders to pull. They came in over the weekend, and fully 25% of these orders were not in the places they were supposed to be. Now remember, I use a SKU system. I don't do like Kevin Commonwealth Picker, hi Kev, who just files like items together and somehow finds everything, even though his store is just as big as mine. I've got a SKU system, and I still lost 25% of these items. And right now, 2 of them, actually 3 of them, are still missing in action. One of them I know for sure is not going to show up. Says right in the custom SKU, don't launch. I recognize the item. It's sold a while back. It was a duplicate. But how do I lose a full-size Southwestern Bell wall telephone? It's certainly not in the box it's supposed to be. Didn't show up in a cursory glance of any other boxes, so hopefully we'll see that in the What Sold's next video, because that was about my 8th look through every location today because of that many misfiled items. So I wasn't gonna go nuts on that one trying to find it, because that order came in as I was pulling everything else. I sold this Warhammer miniature for, I lost the price, $21.16 just for this little guy. Not bad at all. Sold a Pokemon card, $7.95. Only going to tell you about the cards on this account. Very few cards on this account. Most of them are on my other account, which you can go look at, but I don't, which is not, but the other store is not the store that the video is about. I sold a Potpourri ornament bulb, $8.72. I'll generally, at Goodwill bins rates or a quarter at a garage sale, I'll buy any ornament that's still in the box, even Hallmark or Avon. Generally they'll pay off for me eventually, because I have so many Christmas items that people will look for Christmas items in my store, so that'll work out for me. Sold 4 sets, 4 Games Workshop old Warhammer dice, $21.82. And when I was putting that order together, I noticed that I had a lot of 2, but I had 2 of those lots, but my second lot was not actually the same, and I caught it, which let me change the pictures, and the second lot will now not get returned because it was a different thing. Because I'm already going to be in enough trouble from these 3 things I can't find. Although I'm going to weasel out of that however I can. So in the past I've mentioned my Pokemon gift sets. I think there's a link to them down in the description. I'm about ready to tear those apart to sell the things separately, because apparently I've stuffed way too much value in there. Like, every one of them has a set of starter decks in there. And fact is, I put sets of starter decks up as a separate item a couple of days ago at $12.51 plus shipping. I put up 8 sets, and I sold 8 sets in 2 days. So, blam, Pokemon starter decks and deck boxes, 4 days. Each of the, and if you want to grab my Pokemon gift kits while they're still up, I've got them up at $30. Each one of them has a set of that in it by itself, which is, there's half the value right there. as well as a whole bunch of other stuff. I've probably got $50 or $60 crammed into that flat rate envelope when you buy that. Oh, here's a shed of sheet music that I didn't even bother to look for. Chansonette by Rudolph Fremmel, sold for $3.69. If I find that, then Future Page will pop in right here and hold it up for you. Future Page here. Found it. Did he pop in? Let me know in the comments if he popped in. I sold Outpost, The Saga Begins, a bookshelf game, $7.54. This is not Avalon Hill. Avalon Hill generally makes the best bookshelf games. This is one of the worst ones I've ever had. It took 6 months to sell. I think I started at $10. Although for some reason somebody paid $45 shipped for one a month ago. I have no idea why. I think it's because they claimed that one was 99% complete, and I said I didn't count the pieces on this one, only the cards. But either way, 6 months to sell for $7.54. And games like this are also a reason why, when you're comping things and setting your prices, you should check both solds and active listings, because the cheapest active one of these is now $60 plus ship. But history shows that these do not move very well at all. Nobody's looking for that game for whatever reason. Speaking of things that nobody's looking for, seems like making music videos about Commonwealth Picker seems to be gaining steam. We had mine, Dear Kev, last week. Now somebody called Commonwealth Swinger has popped up with a new one. I'll put a link to that down in the description. It isn't me. I am not Commonwealth Swinger, but I will promote anything Commonwealth Swinger does. But on a related note, in an anonymous email that I sent to myself, I was given some interesting information. Remember how Kevin's really from California? Just want to show you a couple of pictures here. Here is a picture from the Offspring's Pretty Fly from a White Guy video, 1998. Young man, might look a little familiar. And here's a picture of a few taken last year. Same outfit. Is that Kevin? Was Kevin in the Pretty Fly for a White Guy video? And that's why he moved to Virginia and took on yet another persona? Tell me what you think about that down in the comments. I wish I knew more about the details of this, but I just didn't put anything else in the anonymous email that I sent to myself, so I don't know any more details at all. What I do know is that somehow, some way, I sold an unbranded kitchen appliance on eBay, $8.46. This was a casino giveaway item. Casino giveaway items generally, or giveaway items in general, often are unique SKUs. They will have the brand will be made up for the giveaway, so they can have a suggested retail price that's whatever the heck they want, since it's not available anywhere else than there. And that's where that came from. I mean, I'm not the one who got it from the casino. I haven't been to a casino since before I got married. Maybe if I ever go out to Vegas to visit Carrie, maybe we can go, except I don't think either one of us gambles, so, and he doesn't drink either, so well, I guess we can walk through and look at the people. That'll be something. Sold this Shooting Star album, $6.56. Not bad. I sold, and cannot find because it was a duplicate, a Beanie Baby Inchworm along with a matching trading card for $4.10. I have offered them any two Beanie Babies as a replacement and have yet to hear back from them. Sold some California raisins, set of six, $6.36. I think I paid $0.25 each for these. I got these at the flea market. I don't normally go. The flea market is very far away from me. I only used to go to it to visit my friend Steve when he would go, because it would give me a chance to hang out with Steve, and it was quite a drive away from me. I think the round trip is like 60 miles, and it's not that good. On a business sense, it never made any sense to go, but I wanted to hang out with Steve, and since I still was doing business, I could write it all off anyway, and I got those there. So, was watching Trash to Cash today, and I believe it was a clip show, and something came up that apparently Dave, on at least one occasion, peed in a cup in the car, and then managed to pour it all over himself. And then I think there's another episode where he peed on himself at the flea market. I couldn't quite find the part in the video that talked about it, but it was certainly in the title. Now, that brings me to an idea. So Trash to Cash are our favorite, supposedly raunchy, low-down, dirty reselling podcast, except that, really, what do we got there? We got three guys who I love, and between them, they have at least 5 degrees between them. So are they really as low down and raunchy as I think? I mean, Dave didn't know what a piss jug is. Dave, this is a piss jug.
That's what truckers do. They're driving along and they've got deadlines to meet. They don't want to pull in and park their truck, walk in, take a pee in the toilet and go back out and get in the road. They just have an old jug and they put their bird in it, have a pee, cap it off, and once it's full, they just drill the out in the highway.
Hey, Dad, got you some more piss jugs?
Oh, excellent, buddy. Right on, man.
Or if you want to be fancy, you can get the store-bought piss jugs right here. You can get these on Amazon. They come in a 3-pack. Dave, you could drive 500 miles and never stop and never spill it on your lap. Notice it's got the nice wide spout there, so your bird goes right in there and then it closes up and you don't spill it on yourself. See, the educated people, they don't know about this stuff. It's those of us who live down and dirty and didn't go to college, we know about this stuff. But those pie-in-the-sky resellers who went to college right after high school, some of whom remain there until they're 30 years old, they don't know about that stuff at all. What else I got here? I sold this Holland hand-painted house, Delft Blue. This is an off-brand one. Got it from Jimmy the Dolphin Flipper. Sold for $6.99. Jimmy did have a special message for us, so I will back up or off to the side and let Jimmy go ahead and give his message.
It's the JDF coming at you. 1, 2, double chrono, because time is money. I'm going to start off with a disclaimer. I'm not a tax professional. I am not an accountant. What I am about to tell you should not be construed as tax advice from the JDF. But only chumps pay taxes. Booyah!
There's so many orders, I'm actually having trouble finding them on the table. Sold a Warhammer Dreadnought Space Marine weapon, $7.61. This came out of all the various assorted random parts that came with one of the Warhammer collections I bought. And I'll have to pop this on the screen since he's packed up. Warhammer Wraithlord, $34.29. He's got a really cool paint job on him, so I can understand why it went for that much. Where is it? Where is it? 160 Ultra Pro Magic the Gathering card sleeves, $4.99 plus shipping. Shipping is more than the cost of the item. Vintage Tupperware, 2 containers, no lids, $2.95. Millionaire line. You too could be a millionaire selling Tupperware. Steve Jackson, Munchkin board game, missing one piece, $7.61. Munchkin is actually so popular that it's generally, and has been printed so many times, that it's generally not worth picking it up unless you're getting it for free or near free. I'm almost certain this came in a bulk buy with other items. Otherwise, I wouldn't have paid the $3, $4, or $5 that's normally on one of these at a garage sale. Easter Ziggy, $6.97. Sold a couple of 8-tracks. These are actually data tapes. These go to an old 1970s Key Games quiz show machine, but they're broken and they're wrecked. These actually technically belong to my friend Phil, but he abandoned them here about 10 years ago. And Phil has hundreds of dollars worth of various arcade parts he borrowed from me 10 years ago to test machines that are now apparently lost in his basement. So if Phil ever gives me those parts back, I will gladly give him the money for these. And also, Phil couldn't use these because they're destroyed. The reason they're even being sold is because this one has never been archived. So whoever bought this is probably going to get this to somebody who can, or maybe it was this one of these two hasn't been archived. They're going to get it to somebody who's an expert at data retrieval, and they're going to copy the data off this 8-track and get it out there so it's out there in the world and isn't lost to time. And Phil would have been on board with that anyway. Do you watch me, Phil? Haven't seen you in a while. Perfect sale for January. A Christmas pet sweater. $3.54. I think I paid a quarter for it. My daughter actually found it. I did actually sell a Beanie Baby and I was able to find it. Oh, they bought 2 of them. Luckily I have 2 of them. Valentina the Bear Beanie Baby with trading card. They bought 2. I have 2 quantity. I'll have to go back and get that other one now. Glad I noticed that. Noticed that while I was doing this video. Otherwise I would have had 2 Beanie Baby mess ups in one day. Not a good place to be. Sold some pig themed wooden stamps, small lot of them, $6.65. I'm not even going to put a picture up on the screen. It's nothing to look at. You won't care. I don't care either. Cannot find a vintage sports memorabilia lot that I specifically put together, and the listing even shows that it's in a nice bag, and then it shows the location that it's in, a picture of the location, picture of the item in the box, and it's not in the box. Isn't that great? Sold a Pokemon Scarlet Violet puzzle, $8.54. I have quantity on this. I don't ship this flat though. I do take it out of the shrink wrap and shove it all into a padded rate envelope, because shipping this flat would require a lot of packing material, really jack up the shipping cost, and thus reduce my profits. Plus, it's a puzzle. You're supposed to have fun, put it together. And all that's in the listing. I've already sold several, and nobody's complained about it being in pieces. Bag of assorted Warhammer parts, $8.72. Still got a few of those left. Bag of big plastic wargaming hexes called Hexon boards. I think there's 6 of them here. They sold for $22.17. Not bad. Would you have thought that these were $4 each if you just saw them at a garage sale? Would you have thought they were trash? What would you have thought? Just curious. Game of Thrones collectible card game. Expansion pack, $4.10. Got these for either a quarter or a dime from the clearance section at my local game store, Miniature Market. I sold 2 Wargaming helicopter bases, sold for $8.99. Sold in one day. Because people lose bases, and they don't generally sell helicopter bases by themselves, so there you go. And I somehow had them. This is a deck of cards showing the Dion quintuplets from the 1930s. Those girls were a big deal back in the 1930s. This sold for $14.10. I got this for 50 cents at that same flea market I was talking about earlier. It did take 2 years to sell though. Started at $20. I'll put this up on the screen since it's partially wrapped up already. It's a cobalt blue depression glass fish trinket dish, hazel atlas. Not even sure what that part means, but sold for $11.28. And you know I've had this for a while because I don't like glass. Sold these 3 miniatures. These were Warhammer Fantasy miniatures that somebody had repurposed for the Blood Bowl game. It took me 45 minutes to find these, because they were 1 tiny miniature bin over from where they were supposed to be. And I searched every miniature bin 3 times before I finally found them. Don't mess your SKUs up, people. I mean, it's after 6 o'clock already, and you know, I haven't even packed any of this stuff yet. All right, well, I guess that is all of it. And we just hit 20 minutes. With the clips and everything I'm going to edit in, we could even be up to 21. Not a bad length for just a What's Sold video. If you know anybody who's not a bad length themselves, why don't you tell them about the channel? I could use the subs. Thanks, and I hope to see you again soon.